everybody.
It's Wednesday.
Yahoo! You know what that means, right?
Dynamic Duo.
Dynamic Duo Day.
It's Dynamic Duo Day, and we have demo deals. So we have tongue twisters all over the place here. I think Brianna does that to
Definitely
us.
delightful.
Yeah. Definitely delightful. It is Wednesday. We are back. It's 2 p.m. We are here on the average every other Wednesday with a Dynamic Duo demo, generally attached with a deal, which of course we have this week. We're actually playing with Nancy's idea this week, and we are constantly asking you for your questions. If you have topics or a brand or a product you want us to play with for our Dynamic Duo, we gladly will. So always feel free to drop those in the comments. Let us know when you're in store, whatever. But this was Nancy's idea, and I know it stemmed from a lot of questions we get from a lot of customers. So yeah, we're running with it. It was a great idea.
Yeah. So the inspiration came from, and as consultants,
Hey everybody.
it's a challenge for us because we want to give you everything you need. Just be real. We want to say yes. We want to give you the stuff. But what'll happen is somebody's working on a wedding album and it is September and the manufacturers aren't releasing wedding until April because they do their cycles, and so you're going to have to either wait or you're going to have to get crafty.
Yes.
So this is where Flex Your Stash came from. How can you look in your stash or look on our shelves and make things work for you?
Yes. Not to be so theme focused, right?
Correct.
Like you come in and you have wedding photos, so you need wedding paper. You don't.
You don't.
You don't. Okay, so we're just really trying to encourage you to, just like Nancy says, look at your stash, look what we have, and think outside the box, or what you would traditionally associate one theme with the other.
Right.
Okay?
Right. It does take a little more time. I mean, that's the beauty of collections. They've curated the stuff. Here's a collection. Here's your ephemera. I mean, who doesn't love that?
But it doesn't always match
It doesn't
either.
always work with what you need
Yeah.
to do. And so we just really wanted to come in and talk about getting back to the basics of kind of making it work for you.
And picking and choosing. And if you are struggling with this, whether you be a card maker or scrapbook or whatever, if you have photos you're working with and you are really uncertain, bring your photos with you and we will gladly steer you in the right direction.
Absolutely.
And kind of help you along the lines of the way we're thinking about things. And I think combined between us, we have many, many years of experience. So, you know, and just to have a conversation and guide you. So we are always here for that too. But we thought this was a great idea. So we're going to have Brianna flip the camera and we're going to show you some stuff.
Show you.
So if you go to the online store, every time we're here, there will be and bear with us while we flip the camera here. This is the tricky part every time. There is always a section on our online store titled Demo Deals. Mm-hmm. So whether it be for, I'll just keep chatting.
There we go.
Whether it be for the Dynamic Duo or for Monday Night Live, whatever's going on, you will find a deal or a category on the online store associated with what we're up to. So this week for Dynamic Duo, the demo deal is 25% off single sheet pattern paper. Thank you very much, Brianna. Does not include last chance or new releases, but you can see, we can show you the items here in store. Of course, you can see them on the online store. So that is today and tomorrow. So again, it's 25% off single sheet pattern paper. And hello, everybody that's joining us. We are very grateful that you're here.
Awesome. So I think the place to start is Heather did bring her scrapbook.
I brought an older scrapbook. I did grab one on my way out the door this morning.
And I think this will just show you where she has flexed her stash a little bit. Pushed the limits of what she bought.
Okay, so I'm just going to do this. Might be upside down.
That'll
I'm
be
not
upside
sure.
down. You're gonna have to
Okay.
spin.
So I'm skipping over some stuff. So this is from a trip in 2019. My husband and I and some family members and friends, we had gone to Vietnam. So a lot of times we get people coming in saying, I went to
Italy, Paris,
Italy, I need
Greece.
Italy paper. And it's like, well, you don't actually. You don't need Italy paper. We may have some of that, but we may not. Or, yes, wedding. I need wedding paper. Well, you really don't need wedding paper. You need something that coordinates with your photos. Travel is a big thing. Summer travel, vacations, cruises, we want to help people get out of that mindset that you need a very specific coordinating collection, i.e. travel, to go with your travel photos. You do not.
Because it's not always going to exist. It just really
Exactly.
is not.
Exactly. Oh, no worries, Gloria. Okay, so this is, I did these a little while ago. Like I said, this is a trip from 2019. A very exciting trip to Vietnam. And I wasn't even looking in my stash for necessarily travel paper. If it worked out that I had some that coordinated with my photos, perfect. Or with the story I was trying to convey, perfect. So as you can see here, there is some, like that's a travel pattern paper in behind. And then little bits would have come from my stash. I had like a globe chipboard. But what you're doing, what I was doing, what I do every time I'm scrapbooking is I'm trying to coordinate with the photos. Okay, that is
So I
always
think
my
the pitfall
go-to.
on this one is you could be like, I want to focus on, do you have Vietnamese food theme? No, not really.
You know, so you don't have to be so specific, but think outside the box, right?
Right.
Flexing your stash. What do I have that will work, or bring in the colors, maybe some elements, but what you're doing with your stash or what you're in store looking for is how you're going to tell the story. So whether it be thicker alphas, so that's, you know, all the choices of alphabets we have. These are a great way because you don't necessarily need a piece of paper or a sticker sheet that says Scotland.
Or a cut file.
Or a
Yeah.
cut file too,
Yeah.
right? You can spell it out on your own. So that's always a necessity in your stash. I have 2 bins of different fonts and
Oh, heck
colors
yeah.
of thickers because I do so much of what I'm telling is in the thickers, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't need paper or a collection that says something
The
so
other thing I wanted
specific.
to talk about too is, okay, so you're in Vietnam. You notice her title isn't Vietnam, Vietnam, Vietnam.
Exactly.
So she's actually kind of looking to variety among the
Yes.
actual pages. So that's really cool.
Yeah, it was good to know too, Nancy.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. It doesn't have to say like
Food.
or lunch with family. No, like use some travel quotes, use something that, you know, it means something to you. It's your book.
Right.
And of course you're journaling, right? So the title's the journaling. That's where you're conveying the story or telling about the who, what, where, why, and when. Mm-hmm. Okay. So when you pass the books on, that's what's telling the story. It's not like, you know, a big map on every page that says Vietnam. Well, it doesn't need to. So this was some older travel paper, but you know, this was older thickers that came from a collection about adventure. So here we go, just different things. So it's just going to be a quick flip because I wanted to get to like these papers here. This isn't travel paper. These are literal scraps from my collection. I did, you know, some ink splatters. I found some stickers and thickers that would work.
The scraps is definitely something I wanted to talk about.
Yes, those are scraps.
Yeah.
And the photos stand out. I played with some colors in the photos, told the story. That's what's working here. Okay? Little bit, same thing. These were scraps. I found coordinating little pieces that would go with it. You know, my thicker stickers there again. This was travel paper, so that worked. But again, I'm playing with different thickers, different sizes and colors. Right? There's some height, there's some dimensionals in there.
This is a 12 by 12 book.
Yeah, this is a 12 by 12 album, if anybody's asking. Yes.
Julie, thank you for saying you're enjoying these hints. We appreciate that.
Oh, nice. The other thing I will tell you, this is an older album, but I should grab one. My favorite albums,
Oh, heck, I'll go grab it.
Nancy's
You
going to
keep
grab, they
talking.
are her favorite as well, are the 12 by 12 kind of faux leather albums that we carry. So I'm going to grab one of those because that's what my collection is full of. So this was a very old Kaiser Craft paper pack, not travel related, just had some really cool patterns and some colors, some bits I knew I could fussy cut to use as accents, and that's what I did. Okay, and this was like there. Okay, so the classic leather albums from We Are Makers. So they are exactly like this. They are the three ring
ring.
albums.
Kind of see in there.
They hold up phenomenally well.
Yeah.
So if you're a traditional scrapbooker, or even a pocket scrapbooker,
And I'm going to say they stand behind their product. I actually had one where the binder ring assembly pulled away from the cover. So I contacted them, sent them a couple pictures. They sent me a replacement. So
oh really?
Yep.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never had any of them break, and I probably own
it was really
20
rare.
of them.
It's really rare. Yeah, so this actual book holds 12 by 12 page protectors, and then they've got these really cool extras that you can get.
Yeah, you saw one there somewhere.
I did this like this, so you can add those in for those few
Yeah.
extra little pages, using up your scraps just to finish off the story without having to spend a lot of time on more
Exactly.
scrapbook pages. Yeah, so it actually comes with a few
Of the 12 by 12
12
inserts.
by 12 inserts,
Yeah.
but you can also get what they call photo sleeves.
Yep.
And I mean, the whole album is actually quite big, but it really holds up well on a shelf, and they've got the beautiful.
I always put the dates in there, or if it's like a trip, then I'll put that in.
Yeah, sometimes, like for me lately, it's been Ryan to 2010. Like,
Yes,
like I've been
exactly.
doing a lot of my kids lately.
Yeah. Okay, so I was saying on this page too that I'll travel again, same trip, not travel paper.
There isn't a travel paper on there. I can
Nope,
tell
even
you.
this. Remember this? That's out of a Tim Holtz chipboard collection.
Yeah.
Enjoying this moment. That was a little bit off a cut apart. It's not about travel, but it works, right? Life is a Wild Adventure. It's not about travel specifically, but it was off this paper pack, and it totally worked. So flexing your stash means bringing together, coordinating colors. Maybe it's a pattern you really like. Well, you could even bring that down in size to still incorporate into your project.
Super.
Okay? So, some travel, I use actually a lot of thickers and alphabet stickers in this, so it worked really well. What a Lovely Day. There's my title. Sun Kiss, that's off a summer thicker pack. This was not summer, this was December in Vietnam. But you wouldn't know it. It was a nice escape from December. Here, this one actually stood out at me. This was an older Pink Fresh collection we had a few
Way
years
back,
ago.
yeah.
Yeah. It's like a Mother's Day, very flowery collection. Look how it works. If I say so myself, it works really, really well with these photos. And I turned it into a well-coordinated, like just fluid layout based on bringing in the colors, some, strips, some elements, some just little bits. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sightseeing. So again, those are just little stickers. So I kind of played with some of the colors that I found in the photos and ran with it. So that's more what we're hoping that you kind of focus on.
Absolutely.
If that's helping.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I actually yesterday thought of some pictures, and I created myself 3 little kits based on pictures, and I purposely challenged myself
This
to
is a
not
fun
pick
one.
to the theme. So
Okay, I'm
I'll
getting
let
this
you
out of the way.
finish showing your book. 2 pages not exactly the same. Absolutely. Oh my gosh, you guys are loving this. Thank you.
Oh, well, how lovely of them. So many hints. Good.
Okay, so I have a son, and this just happened. He finished off, so this is him in Timbits, and now we had what's called a graduation game. This happened last Monday. So basically, he is aging out. He can no longer play minor hockey with this association. And the problem with sport photos is they wear the Golden Knights colors. And I think I talked about this before a little bit when I worked with the Simple Story Sports, but they wear the Golden Knights. If this store carried hockey paper, it would be very generic, or it would probably be Calgary Flames, because that's what's local. It would sell. We're not going to carry, that North team. Yeah, we might. Okay, fine. But the point is, you see what I'm saying, right? So I've got this. I really, really, really wanted to do a layout showing the change, like from Timbit to age 16, leaving. This is his last games, and a couple of buddies he's met along the way. And I really want to scrapbook these, but it's hard because where am I going to find something specific to that theme?
Yeah.
It's graduation and it's hockey. That's near impossible.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's what I did.
Nancy's about to flex her stash.
I flexed my stash. I took a look. Well, first off, cardstock, right? So
I love this part of scrapbooking, actually. I love picking my photos
I'm making
and
little
going,
kids.
yes.
I really enjoyed
because
this.
it really gets me going back through my products, whether it be collections or
Yeah.
single sheets, and then I can pull some ephemera from this and stickers from that.
Yeah.
Like, this is the real creative
This
side
is
of
the
it.
joy. Like
Yeah,
I actually
yeah.
have to say, even just preparing for this dynamic duo, I was jazzed because
Yeah.
I mean it's so easy to grab the coordinates. You go for I got the 49 Market collection. I'm just gonna work with that and do this. Right? It
Exactly.
is so easy to do
Exactly.
that. But what I did was I actually started with my photos, and my photos are the story. They're the important piece, right?
Yes.
So now I know that I've got red, black, and yellow. So I grabbed red, black, and yellow.
Coordinating cardstock.
Right.
Yeah.
But
That's
then-
actually generally what I'll do first is I
Yeah.
will get some cardstock because I will either matte with it or start the background.
Right,
Okay.
and
Okay.
I think I've talked about this in the past. I almost always have black anyway, but
Of course.
yeah. So then, what I did. So I know I don't have a sketch planned. That's the other thing. I don't have a plan at this point of where I'm going, but I know what I might want to use, and that can be a little bit of a trust fall because you may end up buying a little bit more than you need. But I'll usually buy like a couple pieces of cardstock, 2 or 3 pieces of pattern paper. And then I'm good. You know, like
Yeah.
you don't have to overbuy. But then I went to this is Bo Bunny Charmed, which is a lovely collection. I'm not even sure what theme it is, but if you look at that, that's got a very botanical feel and not a hockey feel. But when I turned it over, I thought that reminded me of ice.
Yes.
That totally reminded me of ice. So I thought
Yes.
that would be cool. Numbers were important because every player was playing the jersey 7 because they were born in 2007. So that was kind of part of this.
Oh, that'll be
So
good to know
I
in your
got
journaling.
the numbers.
Fun.
And then I'll actually make a number that says 7 and I'll put that in my journaling. But the number was important. And then finally, stripes on hockey.
Yep.
There's always stripes on your socks. And then I thought the gold stars, because Golden Knights,
Yeah.
gold stars, blah, blah, blah. And then the other thing that I did, which is kind of a cute inner story, was a few years ago, Nathan is a tiny kid. He's actually grown quite a bit. He's my height now, but that didn't happen until probably last year. So he has always been about a head shorter than most of his teammates. So one year, his coaches named him Moose because he's the kid that would take on the big players. They'd be twice his size. So I got the Lavinia Moose stamp, and I'm going to stamp that and cut it out and put it on the page because he's Moose.
And that's part of the story, and that's
Right.
what you want to convey in this book so that when Nathan looks at it years from now.
Yeah. And I'm really
he
glad
has
to
that
have this
connection.
stamp because I have multiple years of hockey.
Yeah.
So I'm probably going to use this more than once.
Exactly.
Right? And then, of course, I had some of the Charmed thickers in my stash, so I'm just going to go ahead and keep using those.
Yep.
And so there, I curated a little bit of a kit for myself.
So see what Nancy's done there and what we're really, really trying to get across. This is not hockey paper. Yes, we have hockey paper, but did she need it? Absolutely not, because she will be able to bring in such variety and interest to this layout because she's choosing things that go with the photos.
Yeah.
Because that hockey collection we have is really cool, but it might not be exactly what's right for these photos.
Exactly, and that happens a lot because the
lot.
colors might not work for your team.
Yeah.
They try, but
Yeah, it's not the
it's
same
not-
for everybody.
It's never going to work for everybody.
Yeah.
Not to mention, you don't want them all the same. Like,
No,
how
because
many hockey years of hockey have I got
Exactly,
to
right?
cover? And I don't necessarily want them all to be one.
No. So I do, but I have some things like for the boys basketball. I do have basketball collections.
I'm not saying
But
pass
if-
that up, but
no,
it's not always
but
available
it's not
when
always-
you want it.
It's not always available, and it's not always going to work in terms of color. And just
Yeah.
because it's basketball, and your kids you have basketball photos to document, if that clashes, oh my gosh, don't use it.
Yeah.
Use something that's going to coordinate with your photos. That's always the focus on the layout anyways. So why wouldn't you be focusing on that?
So I prepared 3. I can do these next 2 a little shorter. Should I just go ahead and keep going?
Oh, so helpful. Thanks, Joanne.
I'll just quickly go ahead and show
keep
these
going.
next 2
Yep.
ones. Okay, so these are the photos. Actually, to be perfectly honest, I am going to have to choose. So this is my son Ryan as newborn.
As the baby.
Baby. And then there's these really cute photos of him and his dad. So I might have to choose. But I know I want to work on some of these photos, okay?
Here's the other thing, too.
Yeah?
Just because you have the photo, don't use them all. So
Oh,
Nancy,
heck yeah.
And Nancy knows this, but this is a good conversation topic too, because some people, I can't throw away the photo. I have to have all 10 on a layout, even though 8 of them are the exact same. No, and no.
Right?
Choose the best of the best, and put away the rest.
Yeah, well, let's take this right now. Okay, so I probably had
would you
more.
are you going to do a one-page layout or a double on this?
Let's say I'm going to do 1.
Okay, if you're going to do 1.
Okay, I'm going to do 1-page layout. I probably had even more that I didn't print.
Probably,
okay,
yeah.
right? But I'm going to look at this. I love the full face looking at me.
Yes, keep
and
her.
I love this one. This one I'd pull
Keep her.
out. Okay?
See, she did that really fast, and now she'll be able to put hyper focus on these 2 amazing photos.
To be perfectly honest, in the long run, if I threw that one in the garbage, I will never miss it.
Exactly.
It's not precious.
Yeah.
And I can reprint it if I have to.
Exactly. And
Okay.
you're going to have a beautiful layout of these.
Yeah.
And then, you have a million other photos of,
So then I would probably pick a feature. So this is going to be my feature.
Okay.
And I might even trim that one a little bit to a 4x4, so it's a second one.
Yep.
A backup photo. Okay, but then the question is what paper am I going to use?
Yes, Nancy,
Right?
what paper?
So
Because
this-
somebody might come in and go, do you have baby boy paper?
And lots of times
And the
we do,
answer
and
is
sometimes
yes.
we don't.
But
This is actually kind of cool because I actually feel that this customization actually suits these photos better than
Yes.
some of the baby photo stuff.
Yes.
So I found, this is actually called Hello Little Boy, but I actually picked it last, believe it or not. I actually went to, believe it or not, Minte at the Lake.
I love what we're doing here.
Okay?
And
So-
I love helping people figure this out.
I know. And I know you're looking at me and going, oh, but I want to use that for my camping pictures. What if you have the collection and you have 2 pages left
Yep.
and you didn't use them?
Yep.
How are you going to use them? You're not.
no.
Okay? Flip the page over. Look at these and how great they are going to look with my baby photos.
Perfection.
Right?
Always use the B sides. Check the A side and the B side of your double-sided
Yeah.
pattern paper.
So even if you're like I do this, mine's all sorted by company and then some
Yeah.
theme.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
So I'll go up to, but sometimes I'm stuck, so will actually go through my paper. And yes, it takes time. So I might do like, I'll grab these sleeves and I'll do like 5 to 10 at a time. And just curate the paper, put them in a sleeve, and not even. I don't have to have a sketch. I don't have to have a plan.
No.
It's just this goes together. This is what I want to work with, and then later when I go to a crop, I can just grab these and
Yeah.
a sketch or
Yeah.
no sketch. But it's a good jumping off point.
Yes.
But I just wanted to show too that the cardstock that I grabbed did change things up a bit. So this was kind of funny. So I grabbed this, obviously, which was the blue, which looked beautiful.
Yeah, which would totally work.
Just let me show you this. So away from, you may not be able to see this particularly well on camera, but just sitting like that looked very pink to me. And then,
Julia.
and then I put that on and it turned the brown. It brought the brown
Yep.
out and I could not believe
Yep.
it. So your cardstock can change tones. So planning a minute to kind of play with your tones a little bit can do wonders. And look at what that does to the tone
And
of
if it's an
his
older
skin.
photo, I have some of these of myself, and they're older, so they're discolored. It's from the 70s.
Yeah.
So then it changes the color of your photo too, based on what cardstock you're bringing in or you're matting it with.
Yeah.
Right. Nancy doesn't have a lighter color here, but the lighter you go to will actually bring that skin tone up a few levels as well.
So, I mean, even this is probably the lightest I have. Look at that already.
Thank you so much for your comments. We are super glad that you were here and enjoying this today.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So last one, and then Heather's got some to show as well, because I think we both are pretty jazzed about this topic.
Well, it's just because we get it so often, and it's impossible to carry every option in terms of travel, like travel to Greece, to New York.
You
like,
want to capture your experiences, not have the paper drive what you need to do.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, so here's a funny one. I thought I got a kick out of doing this. Okay, so I'm going to be honest. I don't love the quality of these photos. I'm going to have, they're quite old, and I need a brand new scan of them. But you might recognize one of these people.
Oh, you do need new scans of these.
Yeah, I need a new scan. But
That's Nancy's baby face. Actually, your husband has a baby face.
my husband still looks like that, really.
Anyways, okay, so wedding photos.
Okay, so just
Someone comes in
quickly-
and says, do you have, I need wedding paper.
And I specifically picked wedding because this happens
All the time.
And it's hard because the wedding papers aren't always here, and they definitely do not always go with everybody's vibe for their wedding, right?
Yeah.
Because everybody's wedding is very personal.
Well, the colors are very different. The time
Yeah.
of year is very different. Maybe
Yeah.
you have crappy lighting inside a church versus beautiful outdoor photos. Like one or two options in wedding paper is not always going to work for you. So
No.
don't focus on that.
Yeah.
Okay, Nancy, what you got?
So believe it or not, I picked the 49 and Market Starlight. So this is very constellation cosmic.
Celestial.
Yeah.
Yes.
But look, we had navy wedding dress. So Al, you can't barely tell, but he's wearing navy, and we got these greens. And if I have my bridesmaids in, they're wearing their blues. But anyways, I just loved this combo
Yes.
with.
Spectacular.
Okay.
And it's not wedding.
It's not
It's
wedding
so
at
far
all,
from
right?
that theme.
So then I just
altogether.
grabbed a little bit of glitter green to bring out the
Yep.
green, and I grabbed some ivory. So my plan,
Oh, yeah.
in the long run, is I'll get some pretty embossing folders, and then I'll make some big photo mats
Yes.
from embossing folders.
And then you're adding some
they're a bit of
texture in.
texture.
Yeah.
And then I can grab out some of my old flower spellbinders dies or something like that and make
And build
flowers.
clusters.
But the other thing
Yeah.
is you're noticing here I don't have ephemera. So I'm sure that, I get stuck on that.
Yes.
Everybody gets stuck on that. So the number one thing I would say about that is grab 2 or 3 patterns, because you can layer up pattern paper
Yeah.
really fun. You can also, like if I had
Just
2
gonna
of
say,
these,
if I had 2 of these, I would fussy cut this out, and
You
that would
betcha.
make beautiful ephemera.
right. But I also wanted to show this was totally
Oh,
cool.
let's see.
Look at this. This is
Oh.
stunner, but look at the quote that fell on there. It's almost like
The
it's
future
telling-
belongs to those who believe the beauty in the beauty of their dreams.
It's almost like it's telling me that I needed to do that for my wedding. picture.
yes,
Right?
right? Thinking outside the box.
And that was pure fluke, but I'm totally going to use that.
of course, you are.
Yeah. And then if you do want to look at the ephemera, I didn't feel that most of the ephemera would work for this particular purpose. It was very, like I said, it was that celestial. It might work for something else that I'm going to do, but I wasn't that cool on it for my wedding. But I did find these beautiful frames, so I did pick that up. And
Oh,
those would
yeah,
be great
definitely
for
can
layering.
use
And
that
they got
in
they got a lot of words about
Yeah.
loved. You are loved. Sparkle and shine. Time to shine. Right? Gloria, I've done that too. Okay, Gloria made a point here. She says she made an album using mostly white and gold foil that they loved.
Yeah.
I have done that too, where I have, so with a wedding photos, what I might do is pick, I would pick a color.
Like throughout.
Yeah.
See, I can't do that.
You can't take.
No, only if it's a mini album. If
I've done it for, well, no, I haven't done it for, well, that's not true. I did it for my album. My wedding
did?
album
Oh,
is navy
no.
and...
I have
That's an
to,
old. That
I-
was really old. I should bring that in. It's got. Oh, it's
We
fun.
have evolved as crafters.
It
Let's
is.
just say that.
But it was. But I did it, and there wasn't a lot available.
But people
at the
ask that
time.
question though too, having it coordinate all throughout the album. My answer is no, it does not have to.
Doesn't
Nor
have
should
to.
it. Should it? But say you're just working with black and white heritage albums, you're putting together an album as a gift or as a shared family
just gonna
heirloom.
say.
Then I kind of would focus on one color scheme just to save you the
Me time.
grief. Yes.
Yeah.
Because that's a big job. It takes some time. But like for my personal albums or
Oh, for my
travel
personal
albums,
I love spending time with the story a little bit longer.
So
and
for
I
me,
want it,
yes.
and I don't care if it
and
matches.
I used to be stuck in that a double layout had to be perfectly coordinated. Or if I'm doing something here, then I'm better make it a double. Well, I'm also out of that too because no, There's no rules.
There is
And
no
I need to
rules.
get out of my own way too.
And
so.
I'm even gonna start throwing up, worrying about chronological.
Oh, I don't even do that anymore.
I'm gonna get like
Yeah.
if it's because I got thinking about it is how when you look through the album, if it's random, they're just great stories.
Of course it is. And your journaling is telling the story on each page anyways.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
And there's a lot of work
Yeah.
that's spent in trying to worry about coordinating and layering and
Yeah.
stacking your albums. And it's like, you know what? We do enough work in the other rest of the part. Let's just enjoy them.
Just have creative fun.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Grad photo. I have a beautiful photo of my youngest son in his lovely suit from graduation.
Okay, sir, I just got to. Kim says this is exactly how she scrapbooks, but she's been told she's odd for not following the crowd. I'm sorry, they're wrong.
Yes. You tell them they're odd.
They're odd because this is actually how it started.
Yes, exactly.
There wasn't coordinates.
Yeah, and
when
I
we
love
started.
a coordinating kit, but not every layout requires that.
Yeah, and
No.
sometimes, if I'm going to be honest, you overbuy if you go for coordinates all the time.
Yeah.
If you'd actually save money in your scrapbooks if you were a little bit more particular about picking your
If you
papers
came
for the
in
photos.
with this concept, I
Yeah.
have these photos, I need to match it. Not,
Yeah.
I have these photos of graduation, I need all your graduation things. Right?
Right?
Yeah. Because we actually have really lovely graduation and school-themed collections in store right now, but I wouldn't buy the whole thing, but I might have pieces in those that would totally work.
Mm-hmm.
But I will first come and think about the colors.
Absolutely.
And the feeling this photo gives me. Right?
That's the
Okay,
most important
yeah.
thing.
So I have this lovely photo. I have done some layouts
But you
using
need to do
this.
more.
Well, of course I do, right?
'Cause
I think I'm going to even do a little mini book for him because he has photos of him and his friends.
Awesome.
And so I was looking around in my stash as well, and I thought, you know what? This was June, so it's spring/summer. I was going to kind of play up, of course, the color tones. There's some wood grain, some green, and his suit is blue. But if I just focus on the blue,
It'll all be blue.
it will all be blue, and this will be lost. Okay, so you can see I'm kind of getting some color hues in there. You know what collection this is? And most people wouldn't go to it. This is Birdsong from 49 A Market.
And for a male?
For a male,
Yeah.
exactly. But look at all the components that could totally work with it, right? You wouldn't come in and go, oh, Birdsong, perfect for male graduation
Yeah, I'm going to
photos.
put my boys' photos for
Yeah.
grad on that.
There's
Yeah.
even one, and so like, is it busy? Yes, but I'm going to work with that. I will mat this, I will layer it, I will add clusters. I'll go through my stash. I probably have
Yeah.
some acetate leaves and a film strip or a wheel, and then of course I'll have like thickers.
Yeah. I was even going to say if there's part of it that's feeling
Thickers
overly
for my
feminine
title.
to you, but the rest isn't, cover it.
Exactly. But like the colors
The perfect.
the colors will work.
Yeah.
And if that side doesn't work, but I see some of the hues in there I like, well, that's going to be cool.
Yeah.
Especially if I bring in like the other colors.
Yeah.
Okay, even this I would use. Is that birds and flowers? Yes, but there's birds and flowers in the park where we were for photos.
Yes.
Does it still bring out the color of his suit in the background? Absolutely.
That's actually stunning.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd love
Right?
that.
So it would totally work.
Yeah.
Totally work.
Oh,
so
you should see it on camera. Oh.
yeah, look at the camera's making it look quite nice. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Love that you guys carry it. Yes, we sell a lot of individual papers, and I say to people, and it's my rule of thumb, if I'm picking pattern paper, I always buy two.
I always buy two because
I
I
always
don't
do.
ever want to be hemmed in because I want one side or the other.
Yep.
Because that'll happen. I'll be like, oh, I can't cut this paper because I can't decide which side I want.
Yep.
So I just buy two. And it's not that expensive. I mean, you know,
And both
$4
sides are
in
so
paper.
pretty, and
Yeah.
maybe I do want to do a double that has the exact same background paper, but I'm going to bring in different pieces.
Yes. I still almost always do doubles, but sometimes you don't have enough photos for doubles, or you want to do a single photo
Yeah.
thing, so you got to make it work.
Right?
Yeah.
And a pattern paper like this, see all those little butterflies? Well, fussy cut those out.
Absolutely.
Even fussy cut out 6 of them, and now you've created ephemera that you can layer on
100%.
your other papers.
Yeah.
So generally, if there's a paper like this in a collection and I'm just buying single sheets, I will always buy this.
Yeah.
because I know I have built-in ephemera,
Yeah.
as well as having a really pretty background.
One thing I want to address in all this talk is giving yourself permission to use your paper. Okay?
Gloria, yes, I will mat this. I generally 99% of the time mat my photos.
99%.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
find that they get lost on the page if you don't
Yeah.
mat them.
Yeah,
Even just
absolutely.
a thin mat.
Even if I'm putting it on a piece of paper where it actually pops quite nicely, I will still mat this.
I would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably in this case, in a white.
I was gonna say white would look great, or
A
an
white,
ivory.
probably bringing out like your shoes,
The kicks.
the kicks, yeah. A white or an ivory.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, and I'm so sorry, Nancy.
No, no worries. But we all do this. We buy these papers, and when I buy it, I might have an intent. I'm going to scrapbook something, whatever. Well, after a few months or even a couple of years, chances are that paper's just been sitting there waiting for its project, and you're still hoarding it. So if you come across, you're going through your photos, you've got this beautiful photo, it looks great, but it's not what you intended for the paper, let it go.
Let it go.
Let
Yep.
it go.
Absolutely.
Because
Get over it.
there is so much more new stuff always coming
Yeah.
that we will, if we continue to hoard our stashes, we are going to kill our families with what they have to get rid of when we're gone.
Exactly. I know, and I have been working on that. Just use
Yeah.
it. What am I saving it for? If I'm not using it for scrapbook pages of my family,
Yeah.
then honestly, what am I saving it for?
Right,
Like,
and
that's
the
the
other
most
side of it
important thing.
that's happened to
Save it.
Yeah, sorry. I got
Yeah.
excited.
I know.
got excited.
We're so passionate about
This
this.
is a big deal.
This is a big. It's simple, but this
Yeah.
is a big deal.
Yeah.
Were you going to show this?
No, I was just going to say, I might have had something in mind, a project in mind, of that this inspired me to do, say, birdsong. Every time I see birdsong, I think of my mom. I want to do a page on my mom because she was a singer, and I think she would love this paper. Okay, I can keep this in my stash and like 5 years later, I say already, like I've already said this. I could be like, I come across it and it looks great with that.
Even this in a strip.
And I'd be like,
this.
I don't
Anyways.
really, still haven't done the one for my mom. Mm-hmm. That is a sign that even though you had the idea, it's not coming together.
Yeah.
The inspiration isn't there. You still need something else. It's not working.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you can't force it. Mm-hmm. So sometimes when an idea is coming really easily, that's your sign to just go with it. And don't worry that you actually bought that paper for X project. Do it now.
Use it.
Yeah.
Just use it.
100%.
Yeah. All right. Okay, I have one more.
Awesome.
I know this is fun. We are passionate about this.
I think this is a
and
big
especially,
one.
I mean, we're crafters, so we get it. We totally get it.
Mm-hmm.
But working in a retail environment, working in the store, we get the questions, right? So we feel your confusion or stress about these things.
We live it. We're crafters too. It's
Yep.
not like we're in here not knowing what you're talking about.
Exactly. Either been there, done that, or we're still struggling, with it for whatever reason.
Right? Wasn't I just texting you yesterday about storage solutions?
Right? Like it is.
We're always revamping and rethinking
Yeah.
and yeah.
We're here because we're passionate about this hobby in a million ways, so we get it.
Yeah.
We totally get it. Okay. Customer comes in and says, I went to Paris. I need Paris paper. And we look at them and say, no, you don't.
Excellent. Excellent. And then you take them over to
Yep.
Stamperia.
Yep, we'll show
and they're
you
like,
if-
that's not really my vibe.
Okay, exactly. See, we will show them exactly what we have in that theme at the current time, which of course does change.
Yep.
We could have nothing. We could have 6 options. Like, we
Right?
just don't know. But the one we have right now, the colors are blah. So I'm not going to settle for it when it doesn't match my photos. Okay?
And you got to feel good about your book going through it.
Yes.
If it doesn't vibe with how you feel about things, there's no point.
Yeah.
You can't force it.
No. And it's art, right? Like you're building on this. Like this is a little mini canvas. So you're bringing colors together. You're building a vibe. So don't force anything. Okay?
100%.
Okay. So little 4, these are 3x4 photos I printed from a trip to Paris many years ago for this purpose, just to show you what we are talking about. And I could have grabbed some Paris paper and travel paper. We have lots. You can see it on the online store. You can see it all in store. A lot of it will work, yes. But if it doesn't, I went through the store looking at pattern papers. This is a brand new one. This is from Flower Shop. This is really pretty. This is how it was sitting on the rack. Always check your B sides. And now I have a really cool wood grain, okay? Which is light, brings some light to the photos.
Look at that.
Nancy and I were still standing in Simple Stories. And this is Christmas paper, left over from Simple Vintage Fresh Snow. Now I'm bringing in some depth of color.
Yep.
And this is how I will do this at home too. I will pull in collection packs or single sheets of cardstock, and I will literally lay it around my photos and get the
I do.
feel for what.
It does. It's like creating a
Which
color
one?
board before I
Yes.
even start.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also from the Fresh Snow Simple Stories collection. This really cool blue color.
Yeah.
So now I'm pulling out some blue, so you're getting that lifted from there. The green from the same collection. Let's hold those a little closer in there. See, now those photos pop. The green from the balconies pop. Even something like this. This is also from Flower Shop. It's brown, but it's got these pops of color. You could even see that being worked into here,
Heck yeah.
right? Or I could go a different route altogether, or work just with Flower Shop. Let's take the winter ones out of here,
That ephemera postcard feel.
right?
Yeah.
So it's not out of a travel collection. It's out of the new collection, Flower Shop. I see a film
of French
reel,
in there.
frames, some French, yes, right? Some little like ticket pieces.
Oh, I love this.
Like that would even work.
Right?
So these are single sheets. So I walked the store with these photos. I could have gone through my stash, but I just really wanted to show even something that we had and how easy it was.
Yeah.
Right? So now I know where my foundation will start, and then this is what I build upon. And I do love a good coordinating collection. I am a huge fan.
We're not saying
of
don't
that.
get them, but
We're just saying you don't have to. So you have to stop thinking about, I went to Scotland, I need Scotland paper,
I don't know where you're going to find that.
right? Okay, this is another thing I did too. So from the front porch, foam stickers, even this word, memories. Memories.
Good.
Perfect for travel.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to say Paris 2015. Then every page would say that,
Paris 2050.
right?
Yeah.
Even grateful.
Grateful would be
I
great.
Grateful for the trip.
Yeah.
I just love this so much.
Yeah.
That's a fun title,
Yeah.
right? Blessed. Yeah.
All of
It
these.
was a blessing. Travel's a blessing.
Yeah.
So you're stretching your stash that way too.
Mm-hmm,
You might have a lot of these just sitting there, thicker titles that were meant to be with like a summer theme.
Yep.
Look in there. Go through it all. And then with your dies too. And dies and stamps, all the things. A camera die cut.
I purposely picked up these two for this reason.
Yeah, right?
I did.
Wander, like just even
Yeah.
for travel.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
camera would work on here.
On tons of layouts.
Camera works with like the grad photo,
Yep.
with your hockey photos.
Yeah, any
so
photos.
flexing your stash that way too.
Yeah.
A lot of the things I use in my die stash too are like my alpha dies for titles, random shapes, some foliage shapes. Like those just make for great handmade ephemera, coordinating
Absolutely.
ephemera.
Yep.
How easy was that? And honestly, we gathered minimal supplies.
Oh, yeah.
We could talk about tools and stuff too, but it wasn't really about putting the layout together.
No.
It was helping you or urging you to focus on this.
Yeah.
Focus on what matters.
Absolutely.
The photos and the story you're conveying with the photos.
Can we please share these pages when we get them done? High
Oh
five, heck
boy.
yeah.
High five. You know what? Yes.
I will
Let's-
share at least two.
Okay.
You share two, I share
Oh
two?
shoot. Yeah. I'll share too.
Okay.
Okay, we'll commit. We have to shake. We have to shake on camera, so we're being held accountable.
It's true, because sometimes these things get lost in
Well,
the
we get busy too. It's
stash.
like, oh, yeah, right. Anyways, thank you so much for being here. I really hope this helped. Handshake, it's with the delay. Yeah, we do appreciate it. We appreciate your feedback too. And yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this one.
Yeah. So again, let us know if you want to hear more scrapbooking, if you want to hear other ideas. We got lots. We're full of it.
We're full of it already. yeah, Julia agrees. We're full of it. But yes, so please comment, share the love. Hello, and thank you to everybody who is here on replay. We appreciate that as well. See you on the YouTubes, and let us know if you have any ideas for us. Bye everybody.